Design innovation is all about generating ideas that we know will help our customers as they move forward in their work.
It doesn't have to be something massive, completely new. It can be a more intuitive experience.
Design and innovation is really a process that we go through to extract insights and understanding from the real world to deliver products, services, digital solutions that they can then take and extract commercial value from.
It's about making sure that the user who is at the end of our products or uses them every day feels like they are doing their best work.
So here at D&I, we're all about design excellence. We care about what we're doing, we care about our clients, we care about the projects and the products and the end users.
At Wunderman-Bienalto, one of our mantras is creatively driven, data inspired. What that truly means is that the creative work that we do is authentic and personal. It can come from any angle, but also it's genuine and it has to resonate with the user itself.
Atlassian as a company has core company values, which are open company, no bullshit, which is a really, really good one.
Open company, no bullshit. So this is about us making sure that the way that we communicate with each other in the company and the way that we communicate with people that use our products is always open, and there's this constant line of communications. Our biggest one is Ship It, which is like a 24-hour hackathon where the entire company comes together to generate new ideas and build new things and try new stuff and see how things stick.
When you see the company here doing Ship It, no one is at their desk. Everyone is going forward and driving these projects along that they themselves have come up with.
I think innovation is in our DNA as designers. Ultimately, you're trying to bring about a better product to improve on users' life. So any opportunity we see possibilities for improvement, we're going to introduce innovation. And it's just part of the course.
So currently what drives innovation for me as a designer in Jira Service Desk is the concept of help. And how can we provide a product that encompasses the meaning of help? We find that the emotion in a help experience is something extremely key to creating a really good experience for both agents and help seekers for Jira Service Desk. So what we've done is really thought about what emotions do people experience when they are asking for help, and how can we design a product that will negate the bad emotions and start really celebrating when something goes right. Like, how can we make our agents feel awesome when they do something great, and how can we make our help seekers feel more confident when things go wrong?
So D&I has a 5-stage process. Our stage 0 is we call discovery, and that's really about us accumulating a deep understanding of everything that is going to be required to deliver on the project brief. Stage 1 is concept, which is our creative session where we get to have all of our creative juices flow, a lot of brainstorming, a lot of sketching, a lot of visualizing designs into final embodiment. Stage 2 is design development, so that's our actual engineering stage. Stage 3, prototyping. Stage 4 is design review, so that's actually once a prototype's come back, we're testing it, we're looking at whether it actually meets the requirements that were built as a part of stage 0. And then stage 5 is our production implementation. So that is normally taking a product all the way through the factories and getting it into market.
So at Atlassian, there are 3 main steps of a design process: envision, make, and learn. No idea is off the table in the envisioning step. I mean, learning from things is really fun as well, because you get these insights from customers that you would have never imagined. Whatever you learn in that stage will impact the next time that you go into the envisioning stage. And it can act as like guardrails that help you narrow down on the right idea and make sure that you're solving the right problem.
So for me, especially as a prototyper, I see design as 3-faceted. You have your design standpoint, which is, again, addressing a singular problem. You have your prototyping standpoint, where you actually create these designs in a way that's just usable enough where you can gather research, and that being the third one, going into research. And so you just have this cycle of design, prototyping, research, and then once you get that feedback on research, you go back to design, and you just continue this cycle over and over again until you find an implementation that really works for your customers.
There's tons of processes out there. You can Google until you have thousands of them. But for me, they all essentially do the same thing. Number one, make sure you're designing the right thing. And number two, you're designing it the right way. So once you get those two, I feel like it'll give you a good head start into making sure that it's going smoothly. So one of our clients here is a pharma and healthcare client, and they came to us with a challenge. Create awareness about a condition that affects 1 in 9 adults worldwide. It's called overactive bladder, OAB. OAB is essentially a debilitating bladder condition. First of all, we knew from our research that people did not want to go to their GP to talk about an embarrassing problem. The result was essentially a national campaign, outdoor print, to first of all bring awareness and get people talking about OAB. We innovated because we gave them the tools to go help them self-diagnose online, but to push that even further, we developed an IoT connected device that was sort of paired with your phone that for sufferers could actually track and monitor their bladder so they could get real-time results.
A great example, I think, is Senva and their product CathTag. And it identified a real-world problem with tracking and monitoring the amount of time that an indwelling intravenous cannula is left inside a patient. That wound site is actually a critical area for acquiring a hospital-acquired infection. Tracking the amount of time that an indwelling catheter is in a patient is quite hard. Nurses right now will administer the device into the patient, take a small little sticker and stick it into the patient's records. The challenge being that patient records in a hospital are usually in reverse chronological order. So day one, page one is at the bottom of the folder, day two goes on top, day three is on top. So now it's 3 days later and nobody is able to track that catheter's gone into the patient. So we worked with Senva on a whole range of different options and ideas. We had lots of technology, we had smart folders, we were looking at wireless devices that could help, give nurses that additional layer of alert and understanding. So the CathTag was born, and it is literally a little sticky label that happens to have a smart little module inside, battery, timer. Once it's activated and stuck into the folder, it has a little LED that just beeps. Sits there dormant, doesn't do anything for 72 hours, and then starts flashing red like crazy. The nurses are looking in the patient records every 4 to 5 hours. As soon as they see that, they know they've got something to do. It's a call to arms.
Regardless if it's 5 to 10 years or if it's 20 years, that creativity is still going to be at the heart of a design process. We joke around, what the future jobs could be that don't quite exist yet. For example, it could be a self-driving car mechanic. It could be a connected home handy person. Those things don't quite exist yet, but when they do, we still have to adapt, and we still have to work those into the journey, and we have to work out what it means for the customer and the user at the end point.
The role of a designer has been evolving, and it's going to continue to evolve, but we will definitely be at the forefront of some of the solutions that will enable people to have better lives.
There's always going to be problems to solve, and if you want to compete, if you want to make things better, if you want to have a better quality of life, it's one of the solutions.